So welcome to the Western Way Part 2. This trail is a little bit over 200 kilometres long, maybe 210 kilometres long, and so far we are 100 kilometres in. So we started up in the north in Ballina and Ballycastle area, and we've been walking south and we've gone through Letterkeene and Newport and down into Westport. So this video is going to start on day 6 for us, leaving Westport and heading towards Leenane. We have about 100 more kilometres to go, and soon we will be crossing the border, and it will no longer be the Western Way Mayo, but it will be Trail 34, the Western Way Galway. So yeah, we are finishing this trail in Oughterard, and here's our next few days getting there.
Hey. So we're just outside of Westport, kind of walking up the shoulder of Kirkpatrick, and we've passed like 6 other walkers, which is cool. It's nice to see other people out on the trails. I really shouldn't have picked a hill to try and talk to the camera. It's cool to have seen other people out walking, and you know, I think we have seen more walkers on this trail alone than on all of the other ones put together. Like, you know,
Dingleway.
Except the Dingleway. So the last time we were here, we were here with the Kirkpatrick Heritage Trail walking festival, so there were like 50 different people with us, and we were coming over this hill behind me, and there was a GAA match on, like a Gaelic football match, and one of the guys was listening to it on his radio, or on his radio through his phone or something, and the match was just starting as we were coming over this hill, so the anthem was playing, like the Irish anthem, probably the most patriotic I've ever been in my life. It was such a, you come over this hill, you see Clúibé, it just looks incredible here. And then the anthem is just playing off, strains of it in the distance, and just at the beginning of a GAA match, it was unbelievable. But yeah, it looks brilliant.
So it is
It's day 7.
welcome to day 7 of the Western Way, to some gently persistent rain. 7 days, it's 6 days of walking, 7 days if you include our rest day. So normally we can kind of average, we can roughly guess that we'll do 5 kilometres an hour. That's typically our walking pace. However, with our increasing foot pain, it's down to 4, maybe 3 kilometres an hour. It's really, really debilitating, and also incredibly frustrating when you walk literally half the distance in a day that you're used to walking, and you take painkillers. Your feet are so sore. It's incredibly, frustrating. So here there is a split to go over the mountains or to just keep following the roads, and it's actually a really hard decision to make. So it's raining, which means the mountains are going to be raining, but the ground there would be softer underfoot, but it's an incredible incline, absolutely crazy incline, whereas the roads will probably take us a few hours less, but might make our feet burn more. And we're both just very tired this week, so making decisions of any kind at all is virtually impossible. So yeah, that's about where we're at right now. How are you?
My feet are also sore, and it's annoying because I want to do this.
Yeah, I want to do it too.
I want to do the off-road section that looks really good, but I more want to come back and do it on a day when,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, the upside is that, I don't know if you can see the Elvis there, it's here. I mean, the upside is that it's an official...
Yeah, we're not...
Like, we're not skipping anything.
No, we are taking a route.
Yes.
There are 2 route options. We have to decide which one we're going on.
I think let's take the road section and then add at least an extra questionable one to the trails rating at the end, because it looks like this would be a spectacular section.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And I think we may take a rest day tomorrow.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the other side of the mountain that we didn't plan today. So we did do the road section, and it was a good choice. We will come back and do it, I think, some other day, but we are just not capable of it today. And plus, it was raining like all of the time, except for right this second. Yeah. So we're a couple of kilometers now from, we're like 12 kilometers from the falls. Is that right? What are they called?
Like Ashley
Falls?
Something like that.
Yeah, there's 2 A's in it, which is always confusing. And then we're another, I think we're about a total of 15 or 16 kilometers from Linan. We're not actually sure where we're going to finish today. There is a hostel there somewhere, but it might be another 5 or 6k. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But yeah, this is towards the end now of the Mayo section of the Western Way. What do you think of the trail so far?
What?
What do you think of the trail so far?
It's definitely been getting better the further south we go. I think I understand. So all of the signs and all of the information and all of the infrastructure is kind of set up for you to walk it from south to north, but we're doing it from north to south. And I feel like that actually might have been a mistake. Not one that we could have known, but I think that might be the better way to walk it.
Also, that mountain behind you, that's the one we would go over.
Do you want me to say that? The mountain behind me, it was covered in rain earlier when we decided to walk around by the road, but that's the mountain that we would have gone over.
It's kind of funny because it doesn't get normal. I don't know. Walking through landscape like this and determining which chorizos from which shops are the best chorizos. Dunster's chorizos, not that good. Tesco chorizos, no, Super Value chorizos are probably the best ones. Yeah, I don't know, it's spectacular. Okay, well, that is the Mayo section of the Western Way. We're just about to cross the county boundary here into Galway. This trail has been pretty good. It's gotten better as we've gotten further south. Since we're not finished yet, I don't want to give a whole big thing, but I would probably say it's like a 6 to an 8. It kind of depends on the weather and what kind of walking you like. Trail 33 out of 44, out of 42. Almost there. Ellie, what day is it? Is it day 9? I think it's day 9. It's day 9. Is it day 10?
No, it can't be day 10.
Okay, it's day 9. 9 days on this trail. And in fairness, we've had one full rest day and one half rest day, but anyway. So we just stayed in the Connemara hostel, which is right next to Killary Adventure Centre. Which you will know from the Gale Force Adventure Race, and they swim the fjord and all kinds of stuff. It's a late start. What time is it?
25 past 11.
25 past 11. So it's a late start for us. And something that I've very much, we always knew this. So the earlier you start, the easier it is to get somewhere in a day. We've always known this. But for some reason, the last month or so, we've just been not having early starts, and it's made a big difference to how far we get. And on top of, obviously, the longer it takes us to get somewhere, the more money it costs to get somewhere, and the more mental, physical drain there is, and etc. So we really need to get back in the habit of starting early, don't you think, Kelly? Yeah. It's all my fault, but we basically only have 2 days left on this trail. I think it's about 56 kilometers from here to Oughterard. So the idea of, we were thinking of taking a rest day here, but the idea of finishing the trail 2 days from now, or tomorrow evening, was tempting. Also, we're going to have another coffee at the Misunderstood Heron, a food truck that you owe yourself to check out in a minute, so I'm very excited for that. It's just incredible. This is Connemara, I guess. It is, but I've never been here, and so. So, like a lot of west of Ireland, this area has been hit by the famine, or was hit quite strongly by the famine. And you can see some of the old field divisions in the land, and you can see a lot of the furrows, which would have been the only land the farmers actually had here. they would have had quite a lot of, they'd have to work on quite a lot of land, and then they'd only be allowed, half an acre, or like the smallest amount of land that you can think of, to grow their own food, and all the other food was exported to the UK or elsewhere. And so you can still see the furrows, because they had to absolutely ravage this land to get any kind of food out of it that they could live on, that they and their large families could live on. So you can still see the furrows and the food divisions and stuff. It's pretty gruesome, really.
So we're about to head up through this little pass here, but behind me on the sign it actually shows a sign for the Connemara, which would be Ireland's longest hiking route if it were currently open. It's currently closed for, I think, just like some serious trail maintenance. It's been closed for well over a year now. I don't know when it actually closed, but there's still one or two signs knocking around, so maybe someday we'll get out here again. Also, I feel like we haven't said this enough, like on camera, but from Westport down through like over to Croagh, down through Lunan, like yesterday, today, it's all been absolutely breathtaking. Even in the torrential rain that we had yesterday, it's all been absolutely stunning. Killaroo Fjord is just amazing. It's been incredibly beautiful, and it's definitely been more off-road than the north section was, which has been really, really nice. Really appreciate it. But yeah, up and over now.
So Mom Ain on the gate there. Mom means mountain crossing, and Ain means bird, so it's crossing of the birds or pass of the birds, which is quite nice. Or really pass of the bird, but yeah. In any case, it's quite nice. Quite a Tolkien kind of a name. Mam also potentially means yoke, as in like for a horse, like that kind of a yoke. Which would make this even funnier. Oh, but is that related? Kind of. What's the yoke on a saddle? What part is that?
There's no yoke.
Is that the sticky uppy bit?
There's no yoke on a saddle.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not. That's the pommel.
Okay. Wikipediaing the word yoke now.
There's a mantle. And there is the seat.
Yoke. Fits around the neck to distribute force. A yoke is a wooden beam normally used between a pair of oxen or other animals to enable them to pull together on a load when working in pairs, as oxen usually do. Some yokes are fitted to individual animals. So, anyway, it means passing of the birds, or bird pass, that type of thing. It's nice. It's a nice name. I like it. Would recommend. A+ for naming. So up here there is a holy well dedicated to St. Patrick, and there's also a St. Patrick's bed, which typically is just a flat stone in a fancy looking place. But yeah, so those are two things that we're gonna see up here, and that's why there was a cross on the gate. There's masses and things on St. Patrick's Day, on Good Friday, and at Lunasa, the first Sunday in August, give or take. There's a lot of history with St. Patrick and Lunasa, or with this region in Lunasa, but to be honest I don't really know any of it, so I'm not going to lie to you about it. But yeah, I don't know, interesting stuff. Alright, well, we're towards the end of our 9th day. We're towards the end of this day of the trail. We're just outside of the town of Mam, where we're going to stay in Airbnb because it's raining a lot and we don't want to camp. So, we're going to finish this trail tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Today was really, really, really good. Despite the weather, I think we were on road for maybe 20%, and a lot of it was kind of really old road. Yeah, it was really good. The landscape, again, incredible. I feel like we don't get enough of the landscape because it's rainy a lot, so it's hard for us to get good shots of it. But yeah, so we're going to finish here today. We're going to get to Oughterard tomorrow and finish the Western Way. Trail number 34. I'm excited. I'm tired. I'm wet. I'm tired. No, day 10. Day 10? Day 10. So nearly every National Landmark Trail you can do in either direction. This one we clearly did in the wrong direction. So we're just walking through kilometres and kilometres of boardwalk, and I love it. I'm really, really happy to see all this boardwalk here, to be out in the forest and not get my shoes wet. Like, that's great. But because it's our 10th day, I'm just a little bit sick of walking at the moment, and I kind of want to finish. So yeah, I think this trail, better do it the other direction. Do it from Oughterard upwards, because the other way, it's the better part of it is in the south, and while it's still not bad in the north, it's not nearly as good, and you kind of get burned out after 8 days of walking, and then you get to the good part and it's like, okay, well, can we be finished please? So yeah, this one, do it south to north, and it's a better option, I think. This fruitcake is from Ballina, like 200 kilometers away. Here you go.
Thanks.
There's too much road on this section. Western Way, people. This is not okay. Like 16 kilometers of road in one go is like, it's too much. Well, that was the Western Way. We made it to Oughterard with really sore feet, and so we did not get any footage in Oughterard. So we're in Galway now, and here we go. Okay, so we finished the trail today. That's 10 days on the Western Way. We had one rest day and one day where we only walked about 10 kilometres. So quite a lot of walking. It is about 200 kilometres long. So we made a few mistakes on this. One mistake we made was we did it the wrong direction. Do the trail from south to north. If I was to do it again, and I do want to do this trail again, I would modify it. So the first thing I'd do is start somewhere outside of Oughterard, preferably at one of the many B&Bs along. There's a long straight road section that completely wrecked us today. The long straight road section that's about 16 kilometres long, and it's just road for ages, and it's not a good start to the trail. So I would recommend staying in a B&B along that road, or staying in Mam. The only downside is that if you stay in Mam, you miss quite a long boardwalk section. It's quite beautiful. So anyway, start one of those two places, then walk north. Enjoy basically all of the walking to Letterkeene. There's a bothy or a shelter at Letterkeene that's dedicated to R.L. Prager, who very important person, Irish naturalist. Anyway, that is just to the south of Ballycorry National Park, or just inside of it really, just north of Newport, about 7 or 8 kilometres north of Newport. So that's already, that's 6 days of walking from south to north. Then, or even 7 days of walking from south to north. Then I would walk up the Bangor Trail instead. So that trail is, we in fairness haven't done it, so I'm just guessing here, but it looks like it's significantly more off-road than the Western Way actually continues. So that's probably what I'll do next time when I come back here. The only reason I'm being kind of critical of it is because it's so long and because we are wrecked. It's a good trail. I really enjoyed it, except for the fact that my feet are embarrassingly sore. So yeah. Some other mistakes we made. We overpacked. A lot of the, I guess, marketing for this trail says that it's extremely remote, which is true-ish. We didn't actually have any days where we didn't pass through a town, which is on par with every other trail we've done in Ireland. So that's definitely a mistake that we made on this one. It's kind of crazy that we're still making mistakes like that after having walked a really long way. It must be close to 3,000 kilometres at this stage. I think it doesn't benefit from being the length that it is. It could be shorter, which would allow the people who maintain it to have, or maybe not shorter strictly, but over a smaller area, which would allow people to maintain it easier, and for the trail to just be more off-road. And when I'm talking about off-road here, what I'm saying is forestry road. I mean, it's basically still road, a lot of it, It's still a hard gravel surface. And while you don't have to look over your shoulder for cars, which is great, you do still have to, constantly worry about, constantly deal with foot pain, because it's just one surface the whole way along. So like a lot of trails, it would be great for the surface to be broken up a bit more. So even today, where we had that 16 kilometres on road, if there had been 2 or 3 sections where it went into a field, that would be better. Would feel better. Anyway, I would give this trail between a 6.5 and an 8. It depends very much on the weather that you get, and I think doing it north to south the way we did it is a 6.5, and doing it south to north is an 8. Yeah. This is trail number 34 out of 42, so we have not that many trails left, which is really exciting. I'm very, very happy about this. So,
So I would love to say a huge thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. We really couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. And I'd like to say a special shout out this week to Terry Rogers, Marcus Kavanagh, Derek Doran and Foyle Arms and Hog. We really love your support. Thank you so much for helping us on this amazing journey. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual things. It really shows us that we're reaching people and getting somewhere. So yeah, thank you. Goodbye.
we literally have not yet made it back onto the trail and it started raining on us. So that's great. I wanted to take a rest day, but no!
I said we could if you really wanted to, and then you said no, it's okay, we can go.
Not pictured as like 3 hours of neither of us really wanting to make the decision. We just got laundry done.